questions. The health and safety implications we have to be aware of when filming include being careful with the flip cams and tripods because they are very fragile, and careful when using glass bottles, which we are planning to have around the loft. One thing we haven't mentioned is we're actually going to be using a red car, and there will be some filming inside the car and outside the car. So obviously when in the car, the people should be wearing seat belts and following the speed limit. So
because loads of people are going to be focusing on the camera to try and make sure the shot's appropriate. Like, we have to make sure that someone's actually driving the car sensibly as well.
Yeah. Okay. Our filming schedule. If you guys enjoy our pitch today, we want to start filming tomorrow up until Friday. We will continue after half term for 2 more days. We feel this is enough time to film, as all our locations are local to the school in terms of editing our first draft. We have given ourselves 1 week to analyse the footage, choose what shots will be used and which will be deleted, adding transitions and effects, and ensure the music video is in sync with the music.
If you want to hear the song, it's on sign working.
We showed the video already.
Then, like,
Do you want to hear this?
It's not working, is it, on sound?
Okay, thank you very much.
And when it comes to the target audience for our song,
Yeah.
because it's not like extreme rock, so it's not going to be proper rock fanatics. Like, I'm not really a rock fan, but some songs intrigue me, and it's usually the comedy sort of rock. So I think our target audience should be aimed at like teenage boys. Some girls might like it, but it's mainly boys and people between.
I just think it's for people who like to rebel, because
Yeah.
the song is all about rebellion and like sneaking around and being dangerous. So,
And those teenagers can relate to that.
Yeah.
Because we all do it.
I really like the idea. I think one thing I'm a little bit unclear about is your inspirations were My Chemical Romance and Evanescence, which are quite gothic, and then you've chosen a rock band. Rock and goth is very different, especially with costume and the style of the video. I think you need to make sort of clear styling choices to make the rock convention, because although what you've chosen is, really good examples of the music, they're actually more of the gothic genre, and the lead singers in those bands wear makeup, the male singers.
Yeah, we were thinking, should we put makeup on the cast members, but when you hear the song, it's not really that sort of song where you do that, so
maybe the inspirational bands should be, you should look at some more rock versions.
Yeah.
Because they are very gothic versions of rock, so I think it might be quite different, and you shouldn't sort of base it on.
Someone more like Busted or someone like that.
Yeah.
In terms of your outdoor filming, have you thought about how you're going to get the appropriate lighting? I mean, because obviously it will be quite dark. What's the sort of lighting that you want to try and achieve, and how are you going to do that?
Yeah, at the moment I was talking to a photographer, Mr. Grant, who's in the school, and he's told me about some external lighting I could purchase. I'm just looking at prices at the moment because I'm not too sure.
How will it be powered?
It'll be battery powered, so it'll be charged on the mains, and then your people will alternate.
And what sort of lighting is it you're trying to achieve? Because it's in the evening, is that right? With all your shots?
That's right.
And because there's not going to be many lampposts around, where you see that road, Travellers Road, there it's called, it's quite dark, so whatever lights we use, that will be bright enough, so there's not going to be any disturbances with lights or traffic or anything like that, because it's quite random road.
It's quite quiet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereabouts are you filming on that road, just out of interest?
Probably
Towards the front?
Yes, when you turn directly left.
Immediately at the front?
Yes, sir.
Needs to stay immediately at the front.
Or it could go down, 'cause it's not just a straight road, it's straight and left.
Yes, fine. When you say left from this
For
road.
health and safety reasons, you need to stay towards the front of the road.
If there's people living there, we can't go and film over outside.
It's quite strict about regulation on that road.
Your timings for your filming, have you thought about the fact that it clashes with parents' evening, engagement evening on Thursday?
Yeah, I only realised today. So
So you're going to need to go back and have a look at your
Yeah.
timing, because obviously if you want to start filming as soon as possible, you obviously need to get permission from a teacher who's also available at that time, and obviously it's the last 3 days of this half term, so it's quite short notice to try and organise that.
If you were sort of planning to start this tomorrow, which is great, my biggest criticism of all of our media groups for the last 8 years of doing music video is that bands don't know the words, right? And when I mean know the words, I don't mean read them off a sheet. I mean know them properly, inside and out. How well does your band know the song?
Well,
Because if it's only a bit, don't film.
yeah, because we're just going to film whenever you four were happy with it. But I've spoken to him. He's asking for the lyrics himself. So whenever I see
You
him,
should send them.
yeah, I'll
They
send
should
them
have
to
had them,
him.
yeah.
And because it's quite repetitive as well, the lyrics. It's not rocket science to read.
Just they've got to feel that song, because the most artificial performance of a song produces crap footage,
Yeah.
and it's the footage which is chucked away. Last year, if you spoke to any of the students from last year, the reason they struggled is because they didn't know the song, and that was just what it was.
And they were trying to listen to the lyrics as they were trying to say it, and then they didn't have the right sort of sound equipment to be able to allow them to do that, and it just does fall apart.
You almost need to have days or free periods when it sounds bad, but if they were going to be up for this anyway, they're going to be up for it. When they're actually, doesn't matter if they can't sing, right?
Yeah.
But actually singing the song without any filming going on, proper rehearsal of the song, because it's the thing which lets groups down, and that's something for everybody. If your artists don't know the song, it will just be an absolute write-off. So that's got to be considered massively.
The other thing, you talked about you're going to have props in the performance space that's in the loft. You didn't actually mention what it was going to be and what it was going to look like.
Right, I had problems with my videos, so I had to delete the prop slide. But there were a small amount of props which include a drum kit, a guitar, a microphone stand, a couple of glass bowls, and some lipstick.
What do you mean in the loft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, what's the actual set going to look like? I know that you're going to have
Oh, right.
the
In the loft.
equipment. Yeah.
Right, the loft will be set up. It'll be as if a band is performing, so there'll be a drum kit set up, microphone and stand, and guitars. Just
I got that bit.
With the
I've
white
understood
background?
in the
that.
background, right, we're just going to keep it how it is. We might be pulling apart some plastic bags, putting them against the wall. We're going to have glasses lying around. It's going to look quite dark and
But we want
grungy.
more red as well. Red
How are
is
you going to
picture.
what are you intending to do to achieve that way?
We could get paint a bit for loud.
Can't paint that.
We can get a big red poster, like the size of the wall, and stick it on.
Have to create panels, wouldn't you?
Something like that.
We're trying to make it look as dark and dirty as possible.
But, so you need to have a vision of what that's going to be, actually how you're physically going to create that, what are you going to do,
Yes.
and what it's going to look like. At the moment, I don't think that you know what you want that set to look like specifically. You're saying there's going to be bottles. What types of bottles, how many bottles, where are they going to be, how are they going to be placed, you know.
Multiple bottles lying around on the floor, some smashed up, some not.
Have you seen?
Health and safety,
Have they
that's
seen
not
that
on your list.
video, Miss, when the one where they're in the cage?
Yeah, the one, it's called D, into D.
The one where the
DJ guy at the back.
no, not the DJ. The guy. I think you've shown it them. And there's a deal going on. And there's the teachers are inside, and then it goes outside, and they're caught in a cage. Okay, but there's that area that was created for DVNO, which I did show you guys, was created out of a room, and they blocked it in with panels. They made it feel smaller. There's a massive space up there. So you might need to budget and Mr. Hills to be knocking you up some panels that you're going to paint to make look like what you want it to look like. Because that's a really big space. But you might need to think about the panels. There will be panels knocking about from old productions. There even might be some up there. Yeah?
Sometimes.
In terms of the red car, Sergeant's May, who's already said that he'll give the red car.
And the last thing was just about your storyboard, same thing as several other groups. The details on your storyboard are non-existent. There's nothing about movement. There's nothing about camera angles, etc. Like you need to have lots of the information. The information is the most important thing on the storyboard.
Yeah, because
I've got my
Sergeant-
shot-by-shot
yeah.
breakdown in seconds.
Okay.
You can see that
But you
on-
haven't got a copy of that yet. Yeah.
I can get it to you.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.